Hey, what's up guys? Happy Saturday. I thought it would be really cool to show you guys like this never before seen footage of when Aniya was in the NICU. We were actually going to take this footage and do a video called like day in the life of a NICU parent, just to like bring some more awareness to what parents go through in the NICU, but we just wound up not finishing the video and we just winded up not uploading it. But yeah, it's just like a real thing. Not all parents like discharge from the hospital and are fortunate enough to be discharged with their child. And at the time, and I still feel this way, but like at the time I just feel like it's just not talked about enough. And I filmed it because when we got discharged, one of the things that was like really emotional for me was when we were getting discharged. It wasn't our nurse, it was a different nurse. She said, what, we were leaving, we were checking out, and she was like, where's the baby? And I was just so crushed. I just like started crying, and I get emotional now even though it was so long ago. But it's just like, how do you say things like that to people? And she wasn't doing it intentionally, it was completely harmless, but it's just like, thankfully our daughter was fine. You know, she was in the NICU, but can you imagine saying that to a mom who gave birth to a stillborn? Or it's just, I don't know, I just felt like it was just so insensitive. And yeah, that was definitely tough. And so thankfully Henry was there, he was just like, you know, she's in the NICU or whatever. But it just, I don't know, it just makes you think twice about like when you see parents or when you see pregnant women or what have you. You never know what that pregnant mom or what that new mom is going through. So it's like, think twice before you say things that, I don't know, that are just like a little too personal, or think twice before you leave comments that can be questionable, because you just never know what the next person is going through. So anyway, I just thought it would be fun to like upload this footage or whatever, since we never uploaded it and we're all bored and quarantined in the house. And I think it would be a great like testament of faith, and just to see kind of where we were and where we are now, like as new parents then and how we are now, just to kind of see like then and now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this footage, and I hope that you guys are staying safe. Okay, so it's about 9:30 right now, and my day usually starts out pretty early. 9:30 is actually a little late. So I'm always waking up. The very first thing that I do is I pump, and the time that I wake up in the morning is completely dependent upon the time that I pumped the previous night. So right now I'm pumping like every 3 to 4 hours. So the last time that I woke up to pump was around like 5 a.m. and my boobs are already leaking. So the first thing that I do in the morning is pump. So right here I have everything set up. I have everything set up right here on a couch so that it's easily accessible to me. So I have my pump. The pump that I am using is the Spectra S2 pump, and so far I really do like it. It does have a lot of different settings. And in the middle of the night, it has this like nice little night light so I can see what I'm doing. So that's really nice. Because our baby is in the NICU, they give us these little containers. So these are 4-ounce containers. And you'll see after I pump all of my breast milk this morning, I'll put it into these containers and then I'll label it, put it in the fridge. And these are the containers that we take back to the NICU carrying all of her breast milk. So yeah, it's really key to just keep everything here close to me, because you know, being 7 days postpartum, I still have like a pretty hard time getting up and down from like the bed and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure that everything is right here with me, and I don't have to do too much in the middle of the night. So first things first, let's go ahead and get started with pumping. While I'm pumping, I usually like to take this time to like call my daughter's morning nurse, and I get the updates from the previous night. So she's on like a feeding schedule, of course, and that's going to be 5, 8, 11, 2. So depending on what time I wake up, like right now it's 9:30, I would call and check on and see how she did for her 5 a.m. feeding and her 8 a.m. feeding. But today we decided to go into the hospital a little bit early, so there's no need for me to actually call when I will just be there, and I can check in with the nurse when I get there. Also, depending upon what time we decide to go into the hospital for that particular day, we may be included on what's called rounds. And if you're not familiar, rounds are basically when every doctor that's dealing with your child, so like the respiratory doctor, the lactation consultant, the RNs, the neonatologist, they all meet up every single morning and basically discuss your baby's progress and what your baby's goals are and where they see your baby going. It could be like later that week or whatever the case may be. So today we're going to miss the rounds, but like I said, because we're going in so early, it's no need for me to call her nurse, but that's typically something that I would do while I'm sitting here pumping.
Oh, I want to is to be close to you, but I don't know how and what to do.
So I can go ahead and knock that. What's today, the 29th? Time is just flying by. So 12:29, and I began this pump session at 10 a.m. So I'm gonna write that on there for both. I didn't feel like I would begin at 10, but it says 10:15.
It's sitting there for 15 minutes.
You think?
Right, begin at 9:45.
So let me show y'all where I keep my stash. So right here in the fridge, I have all of my milk. And I slept through one of my pumping sessions last night, so I will probably have 2 more of these if I didn't. So these 4 are what's going to go with me to the hospital when I go to take her milk. All right, so I have this little Ziploc bag, and I just put a few little ice cubes in the bottom, and I'm gonna just put my breast milk in here. They did say that they did recommend that we get a cooler. We have not done that yet. So in the meantime, just to keep the milk cold while we're headed to the hospital, I put it in here just like this. I close it up, and this is fine for the little 20-minute travel that we got. I also carry, I always take this bag to the hospital. So this bag pretty much has anything that we may need. So I just got phone chargers in there to keep us, you know, charged up while we're there. I got some chapstick. In here, I have my nursing bra. I'm also going to add in, this is my little belly bandit to help me heal. If we get bored, you can pack things like games and snacks and stuff like that. So I got some Uno cards and then my breast milk. And that's it. And now we can head to the hospital.
Every feed, and then when we see that, we take the tube out and we see how she does.
What is she tracking on right now?
I don't know if it's half the rim or not.
I'm so shy when it comes to you, but I guess you're curious, huh? So let me show you what I can do, 'cause I don't mind taking my time to stay in this bed now, never get out, 'cause I want.
All right, guys, so we just got in, and as you can see, that's one of the first things that we do when we come in. After, like, while we're kind of greeting the baby, the nurse will usually come in and like give us an update. Like I said, that's the reason why I didn't call earlier. They'll give us an update, kind of talk about like what happened at rounds and any like pertinent information that we need to know about how she had been doing like the night before and that morning. So it's about 2 o'clock right now. I just pumped again, so I'm just like always pumping basically. And my husband is over here. Just like holding the baby, and it's time for her next feeding. So what we'll do is pretty much change her diaper, try to wake her up, and get her ready for her first feeding.
Hey guys, so one of the good things about being in the room is if you're there when they do the cares that Lon was talking to you about, they'll let you like take the temperature and change the diaper. So actually Lon is doing that right now, as you can see.
Oh no, baby.
It's a little struggle, but
You don't like these wipes on the booty, do you?
let me see.
Yes, and this big, all this diaper cream.
Gotta make sure you put the diaper cream on there. Alright, so Lon just finished the bottle feed. Baby took the whole bottle. Just a very little bit left. That's hard to get. Because it's like a slow. They give NICU babies like a slow feed nipple, so that the milk doesn't force out and make them choke. So it's kind of hard to get this a little bit down. Oh snap! Drop the bottle.
Yeah.
We do have a guest here in the NICU. Mama Lon fed the baby this time. I think next time we're gonna try taking it to the breast.
You're so annoying.
We want to make sure that baby doesn't lose sight of breastfeeding as we continue to give her bottles. Because when she comes home, she'll still have to take 4 bottles, but Lon wants to breastfeed the rest of those feeds. So we got to make sure she get practice with that and make sure baby is ready and doesn't reject the nipple. So.
With you, baby. 'Cause I know it will be heaven making love with you.
So it is 4 in the morning, and like I decided to put in this pumping session because it's tough like waking up to pump when you don't necessarily like have a baby beside you crying. It makes it that much harder to like want to wake up. Whereas if I had, you know, my daughter beside me crying, it would be like less of an option. Sometimes if I've pumped enough milk throughout the day, then I like sleep through my alarms and stuff like that. But like tonight, I couldn't have slept through my alarms because she needs more milk for me to take into the NICU tomorrow. So yeah, it's a struggle. So I always keep, tonight I'm like laying in the bed because I'm feeling a little bit better and I really need to sleep on the couch. So I just like kept everything over there on the nightstand. So it's just like easy access, so I can just like wake right up. But it also like helps put me on a schedule for when she is home. I'll be able to like easily wake up and it won't be such a shock when she's home. So yeah, I'm just going to do this for 15 minutes and then I'll be done and I can go back to sleep.